What is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. And as you can see here today, I have the Boss Dr. Sample SP303 here on the table. This was first introduced in 2001, and let me know what you think about putting the Mark II dials on this one. These are the stock Mark II dials. I think they suit the device really nicely. And another question as well, is this the best looking SP in the series? I know this is one that divides opinion, but personally I just think this looks absolutely incredible. I love the kind of black bezel around the outside and the silver faceplate. The colour scheme's perfect. I just absolutely love the look of this one. Let me know in the comments below, is the 303 the best looking device in the SP range? So today I wanted to show you this workflow hack for the SP303, which I think if you're going to get serious about using this as a beat-making device or even as a companion beat-making device, this is something that you just have to know. In the same way that the SP202 has the internal and the card banks, the SP303 is exactly the same. So we have internal storage and then we have the card. So I've got a smart media card in here and you can store information on both those things. Now the problem with this, and this actually doesn't really make too much sense in my opinion, the internal bank is just a hell of a lot slower than using the card bank. So that is really the first problem that you're going to come into with the SP303. I mean, I've almost torn my hair out deleting samples on this because you just have to wait so long if you're using the internal banks. But the strange thing is, on the card, it's actually pretty zippy. It's not going to be on a level of, say, the SP404 Mark II where you've got the SSD drive, but it's not actually that painful to use the card banks on this machine. So in terms of workflow, I think that really does kind of start to make you think how you can use this in the best possible way. So just as a demonstration, let me show you how quickly and how slowly these different areas delete samples. So first of all, I'm going to show you this drum loop that I've got loaded in. Okay, that's a 2-bar loop, and then in bank C, which is over on the card, I've got exactly the same sample recorded in. Okay, and first of all, what I'm going to do is just go ahead and delete this off the internal memory in bank A, and I can just show you how long this actually takes. So delete, I'm going to choose 1, and then press delete. And there we go, it's finally done it. I mean, how painful was that for all of what, 2 or 3 seconds worth of audio? So hardly any information on that pad, and it took that long to delete it. So if we go over to the card and do the same thing, delete and 1, delete. There we go, it's deleted. So it was probably about a quarter of the time, maybe less, to delete that off the card than off the internal memory. So that really goes to show that you have to use those two different areas to your advantage. So this workflow hack to me is the way to approach using the SP303. So on the internal banks, what I would do is kind of use these to store sounds that you're going to be using on a regular basis so that you're not having to go in there, delete, re-record, delete all the time in these particular banks. You want to really try and reserve these for things that you can copy onto the card and use over and over again. So one example which I've got prepared here, and this is a really useful way of using these internal banks, is to stack drum sounds up. Now this is a really old school technique for the SP devices, and it's something that I've definitely covered before on a channel, but many years ago. You can actually just record in a series of sounds onto one pad, and then if you ever need those sounds, you can just copy the pad and cut them out. So here on pad 5, I've actually used Lo-Fi Drums Volume 5, and I've layered a load of the snares from that pack. So if I go ahead and press 5 here now, okay, there we go. I went ahead and recorded 10 snares into that bank, and now I've got them to use whenever I want. I can copy them onto the card and use those sounds to start building some sort of beat. You could also go ahead and use those internal drives for actual sounds. You could use synth stabs, you could use horns, rap stabs, all those kind of things, vocal stabs. They're going to be the sort of things that you want to stack up on these banks, in my opinion, to save yourself all the hassle of deleting samples on the internal drive. And then you can use the card much more quickly to start arranging beats. And then if you need to delete samples from this area, as I showed earlier, it's not actually going to take all that long. So I hope this helps you out, guys. This is really one of the ways which you should be looking at using the 303 to save yourself from ripping your hair out and potentially throwing this device out the window. I hope this helps, and there'll be more tips coming like this on the channel over the next few weeks. really should start using this to process samples more. It's absolutely amazing on lo-fi and long.